$1,950. That's the extra standard deduction the IRS gives every American the year they turn 65. Most retirees miss the bigger ones: the property tax exemption, the higher itemizing threshold, the senior catch-up contribution that nobody at H&R Block will mention. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through 5 specific tax breaks that kick in at age 65. The first one you probably know. The third one most retirees miss entirely. The fifth one applies even if you've never invested before. There's a quiet moment about 3 months before your 65th birthday. You're filling out the same forms you've filled out for decades. The tax preparer sends you the same packet. The TurboTax wizard asks the same questions. The system doesn't automatically tell you about the breaks. The IRS doesn't send a letter. Your tax preparer might know about 2 of them. The remaining 3 you have to ask for by name every single year. Today we fix that. 5 specific moves. Move 1. The extra standard deduction. This one is automatic if your tax preparer is competent. The year you turn 65, the IRS adds an extra standard deduction on top of the regular one. For tax year 2025 filing in 2026, singles get an extra $1,950. Married filing jointly, an extra $1,550 per spouse who is 65 or older. So a couple where both spouses are 65 gets $3,100 extra deducted from their taxable income automatically. Take Margaret, 68, single, retired teacher. Her regular standard deduction in 2025 was $15,750. The age 65 bump pushed it to $17,700. At her 12% bracket, that $2,000 bigger deduction saved her $234 in tax. Not life-changing, but it's automatic, and she didn't know to verify it on the form until I pointed it out. The verification. Pull your last return. Look at Schedule 1 or your Form 1040 standard deduction line. There's a checkbox for age 65 or older. Make sure it's checked. Move 2. The bigger gross income filing threshold. If your gross income is below a certain amount, you don't have to file at all. For singles 65 and older, that threshold is $16,750 in 2025. For married couples filing jointly where both spouses are 65 and older, $33,100. Below those, no federal return required. The catch. Most retirees with even modest pensions or Social Security cross those thresholds. But for low-income retirees living mostly on Social Security, this matters. Filing when you don't have to costs you time, prep fees, and sometimes triggers tax you wouldn't know otherwise. Even if you don't have to file, you might want to anyway. Filing is the only way to claim a refund of withholding that was already taken from your pension or part-time work. If you had federal tax withheld and your income was below the threshold, the only way to get that money back is to file. Move 3. The senior property tax exemption. This is the one most retirees miss. Every single state has some form of property tax break for homeowners 65 and older. Almost none of them apply it automatically. You have to file a form. You have to know the form exists. In Florida, it's the senior homestead exemption. Caps property tax at age 65 for qualifying retirees. In Texas, it's a homestead freeze for school district taxes. In New York, it's the Enhanced STAR program. In California, Proposition 19 lets you carry your old home's lower tax base to a new home after 65. In Pennsylvania, the property tax rent rebate program refunds up to $1,000 a year for retirees making under $45,000. Take a chap I sat with. Call him Bill, 67. Retired in Tampa, Florida, lived in the same house since 2004. He never knew about the senior homestead exemption. The county auditor just kept billing him at the standard rate. When he filed the form in 2024, his annual property tax dropped by over $2,000. The savings are permanent every year forward. The fix. Call your county tax assessor's office. The magic sentence, quote, "I'm 65 or older. I want to apply for the senior property tax exemption available in this county. What's the form and the deadline?" End quote. Move 4. The saver's credit. I mentioned this in an earlier video. Worth repeating because most retirees over 65 do not claim it. If your adjusted gross income falls below $76,000 for married couples or $38,000 for singles, and you contributed to an IRA or 401k that year, including catch-up contributions, the IRS gives you a tax credit of up to $1,000. $2,000 for couples, a credit, not a deduction, dollar for dollar off your tax bill. The catch-up contribution itself. Workers 50 and older can put an extra $1,000 into an IRA every year on top of the regular $7,000 limit. So if you're still working part-time in retirement, you can contribute $8,000 to an IRA. That contribution might qualify you for the Savers Credit if your AGI is low enough. The form is Form 8880, one page, 10 minutes. Many tax preparers skip it because they don't believe retirees qualify. They're often wrong. Move 5. Free tax prep. TCE and VITA. The IRS runs 2 completely free tax preparation programs aimed at older Americans. Almost no retiree uses them. TCE, Tax Counseling for the Elderly, targets taxpayers 60 and older, run by ARARP volunteers in libraries, community centers, and senior centers across the country. They specialize in pension income, Social Security, simple itemized deductions, and the tax breaks I just walked through. VITA, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, open to anyone making under $64,000, less senior focused but uses the same trained volunteers. Both programs are completely free. No income limit on TCE if you're 60 and older. The AARP program is open even if you're making $100,000 a year in retirement. Most retirees pay $200 to $400 a year to commercial tax prep services that miss the senior breaks. The free programs catch them. The locator. Go to IRS.gov, search TCE Site Locator or VITA Locator. Enter your zip code. The sites near you appear with their season dates. You've worked decades for this money. 5 tax breaks, automatic only if you ask for them by name. 5 moves. Verify the age 65 standard deduction bump. Know the higher filing threshold. Claim your county's senior property tax exemption. File Form 8880 for the Savers Credit. Use TCE or VITA for free tax prep that actually catches these. If even one of these saved you $1, hit subscribe. New videos every Tuesday and Friday. In the comments, tell me which of the 5 you're going to file for next year. I read everyone. I'll see you in the next one.